Welcome back to Healthy Bites. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a traditional Ladakhi bread called Timok. Now, Ladakhi food is very simple. Lots of different vegetables with different kinds of breads. And I love this bread because it's easy to make, it rises really quickly, and the best of all, we steam it. The ingredients are atta, jawar flour, jaggery, cinnamon, elaichi, butter, 1 egg, baking soda, salt, dhania powder, jeera powder, and a little bit of amchur. Make the bread, it's very simple. Mix both the flours with baking soda, egg and water, and it needs to be the consistency of chapati dough, and then just leave it for about half an hour. So I'm going to make this timok in 2 ways, with a spicy filling and a sweet filling. So the idea with the different fillings in a timok is to have it done with powders so that it maintains its shape and integrity. So all I'm doing is beating up the egg and then putting it in. So there's no flavoring that's going to go into this base, but rather once we roll it out, add flavoring on that. So when I went to Ladakh recently, there was an Italian lady who was married to a Ladakhi, and she taught me this recipe and said that this is what the Ladakhis eat as their staple food. And initially it used to be made with barley because barley was the main crop grown there. But since the onslaught of wheat and rice, they've started making it with atta. So I came back and tried out this recipe with jawar and found that it was hugely successful. So why not make it with our local millets, with the local products that we have? To grow wheat, it takes a lot more water than it does for our local millets, and also millets can exist in this arid land. They don't need a lot of rain. They have all the nutrition that they need in the soil. They don't need additional potassium or anything like that. And therefore, any recipe that you can substitute with millets, do try it out. So just knead it into a soft dough and then keep kneading it for about 5-10 minutes until it's nice and elastic. So I've been kneading the dough for about 10 minutes and you can see how nice and soft it is. You don't have to let it rest, you can start making it immediately. So interestingly, timok is made in the shape of a rose. So all that we need to do for this is roll it out as thin as you can, and then we'll make layers out of it. And that is where our filling comes in. All the different powders, whether you want to make it sweet or savory, this is where we can put in the filling. So roll it out thin, make sure that your counter has enough atta on it so it doesn't stick. I've tried making timok with ragi, and especially if it's a sweet one, ragi goes really well. And jawar, bajra, they all make excellent combinations. But I have found I need to add half atta to half millet, otherwise it becomes a very thick dough and not a pleasant result. So I've rolled it out as thin as I want. The next step is just to brush off the extra atta that there is there. Just brush it off like that. Do the same for the other side. Next, take a little bit of butter, brush it on, and this is what is going to help all the different flavors to stick onto it. If you just put in all the powders on top, it wouldn't stick on. Now, timok is extremely healthy because of the way it is cooked. It is steamed, and because we use millets in the making of it, it has a lot more nutrition than normal bread. It's an excellent sort of alternative to rice, to chapati, very easy to make, and the Ladakhis are so healthy. There must be something that they're doing right. So now what I'm going to do is sprinkle over coriander powder, jeera powder, little bit of amchur, just for that twang, and a little bit of salt. And then the next step is just roll it up. Roll it up as thin as you can. And I'll show you the magic. So once you've rolled it up, take a knife, just cut off the ends, and then cut them into about 1-inch strips. So for each 1-inch strip, just cut down the middle like that, and then open it out. And you've got all these different layers that will bloom as you steam, and you'll get a beautiful looking rose. So let me show you that again. Take a 1-inch strip, cut down the middle, and then just open it out. And you can see all those different layers there. And that's it. Steam it for about 10 minutes and Timok is ready. So the Timoks are now done. I've done both the savory and the sweet filling. For the sweet filling, all you need to do is put jaggery, elaichi and cinnamon, the same way that we put in all the other powders. And steam it. So you can do it in an idli steamer or like I'm doing in a bamboo steamer. Just make sure when you arrange it that you leave enough space for it to expand because there is baking powder and egg in it. And then cook it for about 10 to 12 minutes or even up to 15 minutes depending on how long it takes. You'll know it is cooked when it turns a little brownish in color and it's completely opened up. The Timok is ready when you feel that it is not sticky. At that point, pull it out of the steamer. So this is my recipe for a traditional Ladakhi bread called Timok. Enjoy it with a nice hearty sambar or soup or have it as a sweet at the end of the day. But this is a really healthy version of bread that is found right here in India.